So, much like people, not all tools are made equal. We have some cheap eBay clamps here. F-clamps, I believe they're called in England. Americans have a strange habit of calling things different names. Now, I don't know whether I can get the camera to focus, but you can see there's a really high peak on there. A really high peak. Now, what that does is, if you clamp something down tight, as you can imagine, I'll show you on this piece of softwood, but it does it on hardwood as well. When you clamp something down tight, it leaves a rather nasty gash. So in order to overcome that, we're going to just quickly take grinder and whip these edges off. Now, I wouldn't advise everyone try this. Uncle Robert has had hours and hours and hours of use with a grinder. Oh God, I dread to think how long I've used a grinder, how many hours I've used a grinder for, all told. And there's only one way to describe the way I can use a grinder, especially with a flat disc in it, and that's I'm a fucking surgeon. Yes, I can remove your kidneys with a grinder. There we go. So some cheap tools, you can get around the fact that they're made cheaply with, you know, just a bit of thought and a few minutes. Now there's other cheap tools you can't get around. Screwdrivers. Don't buy cheap screwdrivers, there's nothing you can do about them if they're not any good. The heads will split, the bits will split. They'll mash up your screws much easier than decent ones. Drill bits, don't buy drill bits because there's nothing you can do about a drill bit if it's rubbish. The table saw that I'm using is only a cheap table saw. It's taken a long time to get it so that it will cut accurately. Because the table saw top was warped, it was gifted to me, so it's, you know, I can't really complain about it, it's free. You can also buy tools just to modify them, much like, can't really see it from close up, much like the belt grinder over there. That's actually only supposed to take those smaller belts, only supposed to take these belts, but I've modified it so that it will take these. And also at the same time, this top section is pivotable backwards and forwards so that I can change the angle and give myself, basically move this abrasive edge out here so it's floating in midair. So in some situations, cheap tools can actually be an advantage because you don't really feel quite so bad about slicing them up and gouging them, and using the belt sander as a basis. To buy a motor like that on its own, you're talking about £100. To buy that entire piece of machinery, which means you get the switch gear as well, belts, pulleys, blah blah blah, only costs 130. So you're not really sort of cutting off your nose to spite your face, but there is lots of cheap tools out there. Try and avoid them if you can, unless you know you can fix them relatively easily. Just a quickie, thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you on the next one.